What's up, sports fans, big baller shot callers? Welcome from the Grid to the Rim Sports Talk Show. I'm one of your co-hosts, Ken Fry, and joined by my other co-host and best friend, Monty Brown.
What's up?
What's up, man? We got another action-packed show for you today. College football has been exciting. NFL has been exciting. A lot of things, man. A lot of things been happening early in the season. Wow, let's get into college football, Monty. I think
Colorado.
I think Colorado played better against USC. The first half it was looking pretty bad again. It was 34-7 at one point, but I think that touchdown to make it 34-14 for that right at the end of half when Shedeur Sanders ran it in, that made a big deal because I think it gave them a lot of confidence. It was 34-14, and then they had the ball first to start the second half, and they scored again right away to make it 34-21. Then the game got really interested in the fourth quarter. They only lost by one score. It looked like Colorado kind of finally got it going in the second half. I just think in some of these big games they're starting off a little bit slow and they get down fast. They're down 21-0 like in a hurry again. I think that's the thing they have to work on is just try not to get down early against really good teams. So, but me and you both said USC's defense wasn't as good as Oregon's, and that showed up in the second half. The first half, their defense was looking pretty darn good, but in the second half, yeah, Colorado was definitely they were moving the ball anytime they wanted. Right. So, yeah, Colorado played better, but they lost like we expected.
Yeah,
they definitely played better than that. And I think they showed, at least in my opinion, that they can compete against top 25 teams. What do you think about that game?
Yeah, man, you touched on it all. I expected Colorado to score, to lose worse than what they did, but man, what a shootout it was, man. We saw Jerry Rice's son going off for USC.
That's right.
And like you mentioned, Shedeur had himself a game. Man, it was a shootout. Man, I wish I could have watched that whole thing live, but it looks like Colorado found their niche. Man, just wait till Hunter gets back in 3 weeks from now, and they should do well. But yeah, USC's defense, it's terrible. I mean, Caleb Williams can't throw 4 touchdowns every game when they start playing the Oregons and the Oregon States, the Washington States. They got to do something about that defense if they want to compete. And Shedeur Sanders said that he can hang with the best of them. He can hang with the best of them.
Yeah.
Boy, just think if they had an offensive line and he's not running all over the place.
Yeah. He was running for his life. That's what hurt him against Oregon. He was getting sacked like crazy. Yeah. If he had an offensive line, that would be dangerous. I agree. And they were still, not to make excuses for Colorado, but they were still missing 2 key players on their defense. The Travis Hunter guy who plays both ways, the guy who was potentially up for the Heisman until he's been hurt the past couple weeks. So now he's probably out, but he was running for it because he was doing really well. And then they're missing Deion Sanders' son in the secondary also. So they're missing two key defensive players, and their offensive line isn't any good, like you said. So that's kind of like that's not going to help when you're playing against a really good team. So I agree. They had a better offensive line. They had their defense completely healthy. They might have been able to pull off another upset. You never know, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, opening the show, they just get down early quick. They get off really slow, and they get these 3 and outs. They don't get their offense kind of going right away, and then USC is a fast strike offense where they could score like in 1 or 2 plays, and they were just down quick, But I agree. USC's defense is horrible. I mean, this hurt them last year too, where they're
exactly.
Yeah, they're in the same position they were last year. I expect them to drop 2 or 3 games, like I said, because I don't think they're going to lose all of them. They're going to lose one of those games against UW or Oregon. They might even lose to their LA rival UCLA. That's always a crazy game. So who knows? I mean, UCLA isn't as good on paper as USC, but that's a rivalry game. So
you never know.
Yeah, so I think they are definitely going to drop a couple of games. If they are in the college football playoffs, I would be shocked. And even if they do go to college football playoffs, I think they would get blown out. So I don't think they're even going to make it there in the first place, to be honest with you, but we'll see. But yeah, Caleb Williams can't do it all. I know he's going to go to the NFL next year because he's just, so I know he came back to try to rectify what happened last year, which was very respectable of him. But yeah, I think unfortunately not against him. I think the same thing is going to happen though. They just have no defense. But anyways, Oregon State beat Utah. We both predicted that Oregon State would bounce back from losing to Wazoo, and they won. That was a kind of game that we kind of predicted too, where it was low scoring defensive battle. So yeah, but Oregon State did pull off the upset because Utah was ranked 10th at the time, and Oregon State was 19th. Not sure exactly where they're ranked now, but obviously that changed. But Oregon State did win at home against Utah. Georgia's barely surviving these games. They barely beat Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina was up on them at halftime, but then they played like crap in the second half, and Georgia unfortunately dominated the second half. So what do you think about Georgia? Obviously, they're still good. They're the defending two-time champs, but I don't know. They seem very beatable this year, in my opinion.
Yeah. Georgia's, like you mentioned, not as good as last year. They're still Georgia. They're still good. And I'm interested in this game against Kentucky tonight. That's going to be a game to watch.
Yeah.
Just for entertainment value, I would love to see Kentucky pull off an upset here, and they can. They can.
Hey, they can.
Georgia lost a lot of people to the NFL, but they're a team that, like Alabama, they're down.
Usually restock, yeah.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, they reset, they reload, and they'll be down 1 year. And we consider this a down year for him, and this is a good year for everybody else. But yeah, you're right. They're not what they were, but they still can win that national title. Still,
they still can.
Yeah,
they can. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. They do lose a lot of guys, but they'll always usually seem pretty low. But yeah, but they're just kind of squeaking out some games. But one thing I'll say, even though they're not winning as dominant, they are winning close games. So I guess that's good and bad. This depends on how you look at it.
Yeah.
They know how to win a close game, so that part is good. But the problem is they of course some weeks you will have a close game because you're playing against a really good team, but not like week in week out. Especially against teams that are more inferior to you. You should win them by like 3 or 4 scores. But I think but they still are Georgia and they still are the defending champs. Yeah, so we'll see how this season plays out. But I would like to see Kentucky upset them, and they're ranked number 20. Are they playing at Kentucky or Georgia? That's one thing I don't know.
Oh, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah,
I can look
that might make a difference too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We touched on this a couple of weeks ago about transfer portal and NIL. This could be the beginning of us seeing things start to even out. With, like we were just talking about, Alabama not being as dominant and a little bit of a decline in Georgia. We might be seeing the beginning of this starting to take effect, and maybe this is what we'll see from that one. I don't know. I'm just speculating. It could be just a down year from losing people to the NFL, but it might be this NIL thing as well.
That's a very good point. Whether you like
at Georgia, yeah.
Whether you like NIL or not, I agree. It could very much even out the playing field, which in some ways is good because I don't. I mean, people could call me a hater if they want to, but I don't like seeing the Alabamas win all the time. That's why I'm usually always going against them. I mean, yeah. So I respect their team obviously because they have a great program. Obviously, Nick Saban's the man, but yeah, I don't like even back in the days when we were growing up when we first met. I was getting tired of seeing Florida State and Miami win the whole thing all the time. So a couple times is okay, but once you start dominating like a whole entire like freaking decade, I'm like, okay, someone else has got to beat these guys. Then I'm kind of going for the underdog. All right, I'm tired of Alabama. I'm tired of Florida State.
Right
now I'm looking for an upset. So yeah, I think it is evening out though, which is nice for college football. This depends, like I said, this depends on how you look at NIL. And some teams are just getting better. I mean, it's NIL, and it's just players are getting better. Some players are going to other programs, and yeah, it's helping out.
When was the last time you heard someone say, "Wow, I'm looking forward to the Kentucky-Georgia game," and they're not talking about basketball?
Yeah, exactly. And we all know Kentucky's the powerhouse in basketball, and Georgia is not. You never really heard of Georgia too much in basketball, but yeah, that's crazy. That's funny. Texas Oklahoma's playing right now. I think Oklahoma was up 7-0 early. I don't know if the score has changed or not. I can look at my phone real quick, but they were up early. It's 7-7 now, 3:55 in the first. Okay, so that looks like it's already starting off to be a good game. I'm going for Texas. So yeah. I'm glad they're finally back. They were down for so long. They're finally back doing good things again. Thank God, because they were sucking for a while. My goodness.
Man, they couldn't beat Oklahoma to save their lives. I mean, I couldn't stand CeeDee Lamb. I love him now that he's a Dallas Cowboy, but man, he used to tear up those Longhorns.
Yeah.
Looks like the Longhorns made a statement last year. They beat them 49-0 last year. They're favored by, I believe, 4 today. It's a game they should win, but man, it's the Red River Shootout. It's a rivalry. You never know.
Yeah, the Red River.
Dylan Gabriel, Oklahoma's quarterback, leads the Pac-12 in passing. So, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Oklahoma leads the Pac-12 in scoring. No, they're third in the nation in scoring.
The Big 12, Big 12.
Yes.
Yeah,
They're
I don't mean they do got the offense. Yeah, he's a good quarterback. Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he can get them some victories for sure. Hopefully it doesn't happen today, but yeah, hopefully Texas kind of pulls away, but it's early in the game and both teams have scored. So hopefully as this game goes along, Texas starts doing some things and starts pulling away, hopefully. But that Gabriel kid is good. So I'm surprised Oklahoma's not even. I don't think they're even ranked right now, which is surprising. So they're usually always ranked. So Oklahoma's Oklahoma's been down the past couple of years all of a sudden. So it's like I said, they were dominating for a long time, where Texas wasn't ranked and Oklahoma was always ranked. So that rivalry is starting to shift a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Thank goodness.
It'll even out once they both reach the SEC, because they're going to have to step it up once they get in that conference. Looks like Texas already has. They're ready to compete with those guys, and Oklahoma will get there.
They will. Of course, they got a big name. Kids will go there. They just got to recruit. Yeah, they're just down for a little bit. But like I said, they'll be back. No doubt about it. All right, let's get into the NFL. Man, that Thursday night game, Bears and Commanders, that was a shocking game. Justin Fields has played good 2 weeks in a row. Well, his stats weren't quite as good as he only threw for like 50% this game, but his stats in the last week's game when they lost to Denver, when they should have won up 28-7 and lost 31-28, he was like 22 out of 23 at one point for like almost 300 yards and 4 touchdown passes. But then I didn't see that game. I heard he had a late fumble, which I think I helped Denver win the game with that game-winning field goal. That's what I'm assuming. I didn't see it, but that's the way I was kind of hearing it when they're talking about it on Thursday Night Football, was like he had a late fumble. I think it set the Denver Broncos up for the win, but they had to stop. They played great in the first half. They had to get better in the second half. They did beat the Commanders overall, but the Commanders did start coming back again in the second half.
Made it interesting.
So they made it very interesting. The Bears have got to figure that part out. But the good news is with this game, they didn't completely self-destruct. They made a couple plays that they needed to make to get the ice the game. Especially that one Bears receiver, DJ Moore, he went off. Like,
he found a home in Chicago. Man, I know this rookie quarterback, wish he was still in Carolina.
He had 3 touchdown catches, like 8 or 9 catches overall, like well over 200 yards. He was like second in Bears franchise history with his yardage. Like, it was 2-something plus, like 230 or something. Like, he was up there, man, because he had those long touchdown runs after he caught the ball. He was just burning that poor rookie defensive back for the Washington Commanders. He got burned like 2 or 3 times bad. It's because he kept going for the ball and he missed it. If you go for the ball, you better get that thing, because he went for the ball, he missed each time, and then he left the sideline wide open. If you know you can't get the ball, you just got to stay back and make the tackle, or try to. You might even be able to hit the ball off. If you hit him hard enough, you might make him drop it. So he probably could have stayed behind him, gave him a good shot to the midsection after he touches it, and maybe he would have dropped it. But at least, or if he caught it, at least it's not a touchdown. It's just the first down, But he gambled every single time and he lost. So I think that cornerback for Washington will probably learn from that. So that was crazy.
Rookie quarterbacks are known to do that. I know. Well, he's hurt now, but Tavon Diggs had that issue. I mean, that's his reputation to take chances, but not against a receiver like DJ Moore. He's too big, too strong, too fast. If you're gonna get the interception, like you mentioned, you better make sure you got it, because he'll take it to the house if you don't.
Yeah, he did that at least twice. Yeah.
One he came close to score, and one he did score. So this game shocked me. Now, I would have, as terrible as Chicago played the past couple of games, I was sure Washington was going to win this game, but Man, Washington played horrible. I'm not sure if you saw the tweet, but partial owner Magic, he got on their cases. He
I
said
didn't
they
see that.
played,
No.
yeah, very uninspired football. So, and you know, Magic Johnson's a winner. He doesn't want his teams losing.
Yeah, you're right about that. He don't like losing. I mean, I can't remember how many rings he got with the Lakers, but I know he's got a couple. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, so him and Kareem and James Worthy, all those guys, man, Byron Scott, those were the good old days. Those were the glory days for the Lakers,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
he don't like losing. Yeah,
one one thing interesting about Washington, they're known to do this. They had one of the top defenses last year. Right now, they're one of the worst. Um, and this has happened quite a bit with Ron Rivera's team. They're up one year, down the next, what year, down the next.
yeah.
I don't know what that's all about. Um, that's weird. I didn't expect Washington to play they did, but looking back at his history coaching, his teams have always been like this.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
not good. I like him as a coach, but yeah,
yeah,
something that he may not last long if he has a bad year this year.
yeah,
So yeah, that's a good point, Monty. That's very interesting. Yeah, yeah, they don't seem to be able to sustain. They're not consistent. Yeah,
right.
and even this year, like in midseason, of course, he might drop a couple of games here and there, but they start off 2-0. Now they're 2-3, so they've lost three
Yeah,
in a row. So they kind of
right.
do even in the season, not just from season to season, but even in midseason, it seems like they either get off hot or they get cold.
Hmm.
I've seen one year where they got really cold the first half, and the second half they started playing some ball and they made it interesting. So yeah, they don't seem to have like a full good season of football. So yeah,
Yeah,
something's up with that. I think they might need to. I really like Ron Rivera, but I think they might have to reconsider getting someone
yeah,
else. We'll see how things play out though.
yeah. Had this history in Carolina too. The year they went to the Super Bowl, the next year they didn't make the playoffs. Weird.
Yeah, that's insane, dude.
Yeah,
Especially if you get the same players and people aren't hurt. That's
yeah,
just crazy. Yeah, if people are hurt, that makes sense, especially key players. But yeah, not. But if not, that makes no sense. Yeah, it might just be his coaching style. He has an interesting coaching style. He's
yeah.
kind of
Yeah, he's a defensive type coach, so
yeah,
that might have something to do with it.
yeah. He's kind of old school, tough minded. Nothing's wrong with that, but it has to
No.
work. Whatever you're
Mhm.
doing has to work. If it doesn't work, then of course they're going to look for a change. Um, let's get into some. Well, Cowboys. Before we get into this week's picks, Cowboys played better. What do you think about the Cowboys game? They played a lot better before we start
Much,
getting our
much better, man. Well, I am their biggest fan. I claim to be. You might want to argue with me on that one. Maybe you are. I don't know.
picks.
But you see my post when they lose. I'm also their biggest critic. I'll rip them when they play terrible, and I expect them to play better this game. And this is what we need to see when they play San Francisco. We'll get to that later, but looks like the run defense got better. I don't know if New England scrapped the plan with Zeke early because they knew it wouldn't work because he only ran the ball a few times.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
surprising.
yeah, Bland played well. I mean, since he's been in the league from last year to these 4 games, he's been leading the league in interceptions.
Hmm.
So they're throwing the ball at him and he's making plays. And boy, he'll need it this week. But defense is playing well. Parsons is on top right now. We're talking about the red zone offense. Still got to score touchdowns.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The red zone is still the weakness. They did a little bit better. I think they got 1 or 2, but
Yeah,
they need to do better. There's no doubt about that. They're still struggling a little bit. They weren't as bad as the week before, but yeah, they're still struggling with that. They got to have some good play calling. They got to execute. So I don't know if it's the play calling or they're just not executing, or I don't know what it is, but yeah, they're
yeah.
struggling. They're struggling. So I'm not sure what it is exactly. So
I think the defenses don't have that fear because Zeke's not there. They're not afraid of Pollard in the red zone too much. He's a little smaller, not faster, but not as quick hitting the hole.
yeah,
If you know what I mean there.
yeah,
Maybe Dwaddle. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right. That other running back looks like he's has a little more power. Not as fast as Pollard, but man, he can hit the holes as well. Maybe they should use him. They had Robert Jones, who was Ronald Jones, who was a red zone guy, but they cut him.
yeah.
So maybe they just don't have that fear of the running game in the end zone as far on the defensive end.
Yeah,
That might be where they're having trouble.
I know he's
And they're
missed.
daring Dak to beat them in the red zone.
Yeah, and he's missed some throws to CeeDee Lamb and a couple other guys or he's made a bad throw, especially in the game they lost against Arizona. He made a real bad throw in the end zone and got picked off. That guy was like triple cover. I can't believe he threw that, but he has missed CeeDee Lamb a couple times. I've seen on replays where he was open, he just missed him. So he just needs to connect. But they need better play calling and better execution, I guess. All right, a little less than 10 minutes, so we'll keep on going through some more games. Jaguars at Bills. Who do you got?
Ooh, that's in London. I know it's an international game. I think they're still in London.
I
I
think they
know
still
Jacksonville
are.
stayed there for the week. No, I got the Bills. I got
the
to beat
Bills.
Jacksonville.
Well, the London people love the Jaguars. Like I said last week, they always go there every year, man. They love those Jaguars, man.
Yeah.
I got the Bills too. The Bills are looking really good. They're looking bad in week one, losing to, the New York Jets in the second half the way they did. Oh boy, the quarterback is playing a lot better. Josh Allen's playing much better than he did in the second half of the week one against the Jets. So that's one big reason they're winning. So
and after watching them bring Miami down back to earth, I'm like,
that Miami game, they tore them up. And the defense played really well. That was surprising. That game started off really good, where it was back and forth, and all of a sudden, right at the end of the first half, Bills really got going, and it continued in the second half. So, but for almost one half, that was pretty good football, and then it just kind of got lopsided. Saints at Patriots. Do you think the Patriots have bounced back? Saints, is Derek Carr hurt or not? Because they're not looking good this year. They haven't been looking good the last couple of years, but
I believe he is.
I know he got hurt in a game. I think he came back.
I think I don't know if he's playing this week or not. No, but I expect the Patriots to bounce back this game. That's going to be a good game to watch.
Yeah, it will be. I think Patriots will win too. They're playing at home. I think they will bounce back. Bill Belichick was pissed how they played against Dallas. I think Dallas is one of his worst losses since he's been the coach at New England. So I think they will bounce back.
Yeah, he doesn't lose 2 in a row often, if ever. So yeah.
Next one, Titans at Colts. Colts are playing better.
Mm-hmm.
I like that rookie quarterback Richardson from Florida. He's doing good. As long as he slides and doesn't get concussions, he's looking good. But I think I still got the Titans because Derrick Henry finally had a good game. So I think Derrick Henry can have another game. I got Titans. I think Derrick Henry will have 2 good games in a row and will these guys to another win.
Well, I was about to trade him away on my fantasy football team. He was sorry the past couple of weeks, but no, he's been doing better. They're getting offense has been the Tennessee Titans offense has been a lot better. So yeah, I got them to win this game as well. It's at the Colts, but Tennessee's favored by 2.5, so I think they'll cover that 2.5 to win the game.
Yeah, it is at the Colts, but I got Titans. I mean, Colts could very much pull it off because I think they are improved this year, but I think Titans will still get it done somehow. That's just what I think. Ravens at Steelers. Steelers offense looks horrible, but still are a tough-minded team. I love their coach Tomlin. I've always liked him. I think that's a hard one. Obviously, Ravens are predicted to win on paper. I know that. I don't know what the spread is, but Ravens are
4.5 Baltimore.
Huh?
4.5 Baltimore.
Yeah. Ravens probably will win this game, but I want the Steelers. I'm just wondering if the Steelers can finally bounce back. Because before last week's loss, they did have one good offensive week where they looked pretty good. And I thought their offense kind of got back on track. Then they looked bad last week again. So that's a hard one, man. I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to pick the Steelers. Even though the Ravens are playing much better football, I wonder if the Steelers can get it done at home with Mike Tomlin as their coach. So I'm probably wrong, but I'm going to go with the Steelers. Panthers at Lions. I think I got the Lions on that. Lions are playing really good football. They look really freaking good this year. Hopefully they can keep it up and be consistent all year long. They look really good.
I expect the Lions to win big with this game. It should be not easy, but by 10 at least. Yeah, I expect the Lions to win. Yeah, they're for real like that. I think they are for real.
I like the rookie quarterback from Alabama. He is doing pretty good, but they've lost some close games, but they just don't. quite have enough. They're rebuilding, but I do like the rookie
Yeah.
quarterback Bryce Young. He is all of the rookie quarterbacks this year are playing really well. Actually,
Yes.
it's good.
Yeah.
All of them, all three
Boy,
of them.
just think if Bryce Young had Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore still.
Yeah, exactly. They just need more players around them, but they're doing better than I expected.
Yeah.
Texans at Falcons, the other rookie quarterback, the guy from Ohio State, he's playing good.
Then you got Bijan Robinson for the Falcons.
Yeah.
On the other side.
Yeah,
really
I got Falcons. Falcons are so up. Falcons, the Dirty Birds, are so up and down though. But they'll get this game. They're always like around 500. They don't seem to ever get it going. Ever since they lost the Super Bowl to New England Patriots on that big huge comeback by Tom Brady, they seem like they've been sucking ever since. No offense to the Falcons fans, but they just haven't got it. They haven't been very good since they lost that Super Bowl the way they did. They fell apart, man. So
yeah, the Texans surprised everybody last week. Is that when they beat Pittsburgh last week? Was that last week?
Yeah.
But no,
they beat them pretty good actually too. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, beat them bad, but they'll be brought down to earth this week, and the Falcons should win this game.
I agree. I'll skip over some games, but Giants at Dolphins. I definitely got Dolphins. Giants look horrible this year in offense. I don't know if Saquon Barkley's coming back, but they do not look good at all. That's surprising. Like they had the one really good year last year, and they look like the same old Giants for the past 5 years. I mean, I don't know what is going on with them. I know they don't have really any receivers. That's been their problem. Obviously, they got the running back. They got the running back Barkley when he's healthy, but they have no receivers. They got to do something on the offensive side of the ball. Their defense is good and tough, but they're out there all game long. They're going to get worn down. So yeah, they need to. Giants offense horrible.
Well, he got sacked 11 times. I think he just got sacked a minute ago. Right now, man, that offensive line terrible. Why don't they just put Saquon Barkley out of his misery and just get rid of him? It's not because it's him. Just he deserves to be on the better team than that. Yeah, the Giants disappointed me. I thought they would be so much better, but man, they're terrible. They competing for being the worst team in the league right now.
Yep. Real quick, last two games we'll cover. I agree they are one of the worst teams in the league, no doubt. Chiefs at Vikings. That's gonna be an interesting game. Vikings did get their first win. Obviously, the Chiefs, Travis Kelce, and that singer, whatever her name is, that's been all over the freaking internet. I guess they're dating now. I can't think of her name, but I know she's really popular.
Taylor Swift, I think.
Taylor Swift, Swift. They call it her fans are called the Swifties or something fun. But anyways, I think Chiefs will win.
Yeah, they shouldn't have any issues either.
Chiefs got this game. Let's go to Sunday night and wrap this up. Our Cowboys at the 49ers. Man, the Cowboys, this is going to be a game. Cowboys at 49ers, man. I got the Cowboys winning the squeaker, man. 49ers are 4-0. They look dominant. Eagles are also, but the Eagles don't look dominant. They've been winning some close games, but the 49ers look really good. That's what's scary. They look really good. But hopefully the Cowboys can give them their first loss.
Dallas open up that offense, score in the red zone. We need touchdowns against this team, not field goals. They need to stop the run, or Christian McCaffrey will run all over you. They'll score 3 or 4 touchdowns on you if you don't stop that run. That's been their weakness. So that's what they got to do to win this game. Score in the red zone and stop that run. I
agree completely. And in closing, we're under a minute, so it's going to show up any time. But I agree with you 100%. Hopefully they stop Christian McCaffrey. That's the key. But all right, sports fans, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll be back next week. Thanks for watching.
All right.